Hey guys, what's up? It's George Beatty making a video about how to lay off price. So remember, we're in the sales process. This is when you give the seller the number the first time, and typically where a negotiation will sort of start, right? So right before this, you've done some price conditioning as far as how much work the property needs, possibly depending on the neighborhood, a little bit of comp information or cash comp information or ARV stuff. We've done some type of price conditioning right before we're laying price off to these people, right? So on the emotional roller coaster, these people are down. They're at the bottom of it. They're like, oh shit, my house needs all this work, and might not be a good fit for an investor anyway, or might not be a good fit for this person after you've built rapport with them, after you've built a lot of trust with them, after they want to do business with our company, right? So this is how I lay off price. I'm just gonna kind of do it, right? I might give you a little bit of notes in between. So usually how I started off is I'm cocked to the side from somebody a little bit with my feet. If you guys can see my feet, I'm kind of standing like this, off center to somebody. So a person would be here, and I'm kind of standing at their 90-degree angle, right? So I'm saying, hey, hey, Mr. Seller. I'm just gonna call seller Bobby. All right. So hey, Bobby. I know that some of those numbers might be scary to you, or it might just be overwhelming with a lot of information. But like I said, I really do like the house, and I really want to make this work for you. So I'll tell you what. The number I'm about to give you, this is with paying all of your closing costs. This is handling all of the paperwork. This is you totally just walking away from this property. You can just put your feet up and grab a glass of lemonade, and just wait for it to be done, because it's going to be fast, it's going to be quick, it's going to be easy. This is with us handling, like I said, all of your transfer tax, all of your closing costs, all of the U&O stuff. So when the township comes in here, Bobby, and they say, hey, you got to fix this concrete, you have to have all these outlets installed, and they really just sort of wreck your time, we're going to handle that. So you don't have to worry about anything, all right? And this is with all the work that needs to be done. This is your all-inclusive number, and so this is your all-inclusive number, and Bob, I'd really love it if we could do this deal at $50,000. So notice right there, I just kind of shut up as soon as I gave him the number, right? It's you can shorten that front end process if you're talking to a landlord or somebody that makes decisions faster, or is kind of a no-nonsense person. You don't have to go through that whole list, but it's always good to give somebody a reminder of benefits. This is a quick cash close with no bank financing, with you not having to make any repairs, with you not worrying about the township, you're not having to pay any closing costs, no real estate agent commissions, nothing. This is just the number, and and we'll handle everything else quick, fast, and easy. I would love it if you sold me this house for $50,000. Great, so you see there, I just shut up. So you want to let them articulate. So when people aren't saying anything, it can be very uncomfortable, but it means that they're making a decision, and it means that they're thinking something, right? So if they're thinking, that's good for us. If they're immediately just no, right? We're going to go over what to do in that situation in just a second, but if they're thinking, it's good, right? We want them thinking, we want them in an uncomfortable position so that they can make that decision. Remember, most of our sellers have gotten to this position in their lives of being a seller by not facing their lives or not facing things that needed to be handled, like the condition of their house, like their taxes, like their late mortgage payments, things like that, right? So you just shut up and you let them say yes or no. And the reason that I like to say, I would love it if you sold it to me for 50, is because if they get angry and think that we're lowballing them, so let's say the seller comes and says, no, George, 50,000 is not enough. Are you crazy? Is that even real? I can then go, hey, man, remember, look, I'm putting my hands up. When you put your hands up like this, it disarms people. In person, they just calm right down. You'll notice it in your real life. So, hey, this is what I would say if Bobby, our seller, came at me like that. Be like, hey, Bobby, hey, I'm with you. Absolutely, I wouldn't want to sell it to me for 50 grand anyway. That's just where I'd like to be. You know what I mean? I would love it if you sold it to me for 50 grand. I mean, I'd be jumping up and down, clicking my heels together, right? But you wouldn't do that. But I really do want to do business with you, and I think that you want to do business with us. Is that fair? Right. And you definitely want to sell it to an investor? Right. So what's a realistic number that you think we could come together and make this work at? So you see there, I did a little bit of a give up. I calmed down, put my hands up. I agreed with him. I also asked him some questions. Again, realigned with him and said, I'm totally with you. I agree. I wouldn't do that either. I'm agreeing. I'm giving up. And then I'm pulling it back with 2 questions. I think we can agree we want to do business with each other, right? And you do want to sell it to an investor. So those are qualifying questions, which then give us to the realistic number part. If you've done everything right up to this point in terms of explaining what an investor sale is, explaining what we do, and explaining what the difference between that and a retail sale is, and that a lot of work has to be done and things like that, they should be able to come up with like a realistic number, that they should understand what that means, and they should start the negotiation process of giving you lower and lower numbers so that we can make a deal. All right, so that's how I lay off price. We're going to make some other videos about how to do rebuttaling and stuff like that, but if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Have a great day.